and you are likely to get choked. That was purely from the English side. Now, what I'm going to talk is, I'm a bit confused on this terminology. I have been here many times in past. I have been on this podium, and I'm sure, as per law of conservation of energy, the egos would be there. And every 1.5 years, a new term, and everything is here, cloud computing, so all sort of things. The latest one, very fresh from the well, is BYOD. No harm, we are here. Just now there was an announcement that you punch in this password and you can connect to Wi-Fi and those type of things. You have brought your devices. But I think this definition is being extended beyond any logical proportion. Bringing a BlackBerry to work and responding to your emails, fine. If the BYOD is that, I have no problem. But then the scenario, if you have to work on an ERP system and you are doing a lot of entry and other things, how would you like to do it? Using your BlackBerry or iPad or whatever. What happens to the core data? Yes, people were talking about security and all those things. But imagine a scenario, or just recall, there are, every day you might have been pressing. You will look at a mail on BlackBerry. If there are attachments, you'll say, okay, attachment is difficult to read. I'll go to work, log into my laptop, and then read it, and then I can do a proper analysis and respond or prepare a equally good report sitting on the laptop. You cannot do those things using your smart devices and all those. Let's go back. When this entire thing got triggered, when Apple came out with its devices and brought in consumerization, everybody found it very easy. That was few years back. Just help me understand. VCR is there for so many years. How many of us have been able to put it on an auto record? Okay, we have been using that for watching the movies, for output, for display. But it never took off, and VCR is there in almost all the households. So the underlying factor is ease of use. And that's what attracted all the households, old ladies, my grandmother, all those. Now everybody is quite happy using an iPad and watching a movie or talking to their children, grandchildren and everything. But that's a penetration which has happened in the household from a different angle. But as always happens with the IT industry, the vendors, they saw a big opportunity in this, and now everybody is jumping. I have a slide later on which will explain this. See, the BYOD is sitting there. Look at the other entities who are linked with that. Smart device producers. Yes, there are different numbers. I could see somebody said 1.5 billion, some other numbers. I also have got a number. So depends whether you are looking at a Gartner report or you are looking at a IDC report or whichever. Because never ever we go back and validate that you have projected that by 2015 it will be 1.5 billion. What is the number now? So people are free to pick up a number and put in the presentation. Smart device producers, they are happy because it's safe for them. Software provider, now they have to come out with different versions. So one version for iPad, another version for Android, another version for this. The cost is coming up. We have to pay. Telcos, Heather was here, very happily he presented. Nice job done. His presentation was very good. They are making money because each additional BYOD device on the network is going to bring in additional megabyte of load on the network, which means increase in revenue for Etisalat, View and other telcos. felt that employees should remain connected or remain at work 24/7. This is quite contradictory to whatever we have learned so far. People need to get a break. Then only they can be productive. Don't hook them on a 24/7 basis. Always they are on work. Or even in the workplace, they are busy with most popular these days is WhatsApp and Facebook and those type of things. Definitely there's a question mark. I didn't put it there that it's decreasing or increasing, but I'm not sure whether it's going to increase the productivity. Employee, there are two segments. And that's what we'll talk about in next slide, generation divide. Some of them are happy, some of them might not be, not sure. But who is suffering? The cost is coming on the organization, and this poor CIO, he had to manage one network to keep the lights on. That itself was a challenge. Now all these other things are also coming. And he has to be very alert from all the angles, from where the exposure would come. Life is becoming messy. And the advantage, not yet seen. There's no report which talks in concrete terms that unless it's a marketing slide from one of the service providers which might say that there have been productivity enhancement by 33%, but there's no way to challenge that. So not sure whether it has helped the organization, but all those additional things complexities are coming. Now, having stated that, I am aware there are two categories of CIOs. One, like me, and I have always been like that. When cloud computing came, then also I was talking similar thing. Who are there, who are struggling, not trying to hold it. But as we heard from other speakers, it cannot be stopped. It's bound to come. We'll see when it comes. Or it has already arrived. The other segment, they are supporting it. They are enablers. Those category of CIOs where I fall, they are being seen as hurdles. This guy is outdated. Yes, I belong to Generation X or Baby Boomer category. And if you would have read the analysis and studies, there's a great similarity and sync between millennial generation and baby boomers. Both of these generations we think very identical. In between, there are different generations. So we are in sync. And I belong to that category, other one is enabler. And fine, that's how it is. And this is what I stated. I'm still battling, I'm trying to hold it. And that's a photograph. Although it was, that time I was talking something else. I was telling cloud, please hold. I'm using the same one because it's good, same place, same talk. Do you like that photograph? Okay, now the definition. It's like having seen the movie for 10 minutes, and then I'm saying the name of the movie is this. I think it came in the wrong place. Something must have gone on. So there are two factors which need to be considered here. First, it's becoming new normal of business. It's nothing very unusual or new. Everybody is doing that. My only problem is when all the vendors they jump in and start exploiting the situation and try to create confusion. BYD is up to the extent of Blackberries or some smart devices and those type of things, I am okay. Okay. But don't let it penetrate inside my ERP and those type of things. Because yes, it's good to say that particular generation is very comfortable working on certain device, and hence they'll bring it in. Okay, I'm comfortable with many other things. I'm comfortable walking around in pajama. That doesn't mean that I'll come in pajama to work. There has to be certain norms. And people are talking about policies. This policy, keep one simple policy, nothing allowed in my corporate network. We'll have a small, call it, give it a name, internet network or something like that. I just tried to show here where it started with Apple and then gradually spreading in all the devices. Now, few facts, and I will not give any reference to Gartner or anything, although I want to pick up from somewhere. For an organization, if you bring in BYOD, it's going to cost 33% more. I have the backup data, so if anybody wants to validate it later, I can show it. It's not in this book. So I kept it there. I was surprised, Heather and HP, both of them spoke. Nobody talked about the most critical element in this entire game. The capability of remote wiping out. It mentioned about BP, laptops being stolen and being misused. But if there would have been a proper arrangement whereby you can, if the device is stolen or it has landed in the wrong hand, remote wiping out so that your information or data is not leaked. Another major thing is, and this again is getting influenced. I have a senior executive in my present organization, that's why I can't name him. If it would have been a previous one, I would have said. With our discussion, he keeps referring that my 7-year-old niece, last 4 years is just saying 7 years. The age is not going up at all. That is becoming a big challenge for the CIOs. Because all the senior executives, they have got young kids who are able to show them very nice things, and when they come to work, I do not know those things. So what is this? My 10 years old niece, he can do it, or he can go say okay. And then, if they realize that, okay, they cannot get past me, one of my colleagues from field support, Jebu John or somebody passing by, they will grab. Okay, listen, I need to, you need to fix this for me. And he has brought a gadget. Now, poor fellow, he is looking at a very senior executive. What can he do? He will not be able to say, no, let me check with my CIO or something. So, comes under pressure. That's why I put it in red. Many senior executives, they tend to get into management. And incidentally, they are highly paid people, so they can buy all the new gadgets. Okay, then bring it. Listen, I have got this, some model 5. I went to San Francisco, from there I got it. Now you can figure it, I want to use it. That's becoming a problem. Okay, there was a slide on this statistics, number of smartphones. I think the number was different. That slide was from HP. I picked up that by 2015 it will exceed 1 billion. Now we can dispute which one was correct. Neither of these would be correct. Then the employee, this again is from somewhere. On an average, they use 2.5 mobile devices. I've got 2. I don't know what is this 0.5, but and on an average, 3 hours per day. So, in a very subtle manner, I'm trying to say is, okay, this is on company's time, some productivity loss, again, I don't know. Sometimes you might get encouraged also, if you are getting a nice, I like this, that photograph on Facebook from, some good-looking people, I like it, then you become very motivated, then the guy will work harder. So, those are exceptional cases. And there are a few other traits which are listed here. Most important thing is, gradually what's happening is, the concept of location of an organization or an office, that's getting very faded. Okay. So, sitting anywhere, you can try it. And that's what is happening with the millennial generation. They are saying that don't force us to come to work. Give us the assignment and deadline. Even if we are sitting in near the swimming pool, we'll do the work. So I think this thing is going to help that concept further. Some of these points we discussed. Now, depending upon what your HR policy is, depending upon what is the strategic direction or vision of the organization, whether you want to give break to employees, because historically, if you see the concepts of earned leave, you work for 1 year, you get 30 days or 42 days and all those. The underlying factor was that after a few months of working, the employee should be given a break so that the employee becomes recharged, which will bring in new ideas, better solutions, productivity. Or after working 5 days, take 2 days off. With the help of this so-called BYOD, we are trying to say, guys, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, just keep. And then, if you have given the BlackBerry, then the expectation is that if there's a breakdown at 12 o'clock in the night, you would have seen the mail and you would have responded and those type of things. That's not good for the organization. That's not good for the entire corporate world. I think we are stretching it too far. We are stretching it too far. It's going to get into a serious situation where innovation would stop. People would only continue to remain very tactical, responding to emails and other things. Unless you give a break, unless you give a breathing space, you cannot. Nothing against China, but tell me, China has been doing so well. Name one innovation which has come out from China. None. Who wins the maximum Nobel Prize? Which country? All of us know. What is the reason? What is the difference? Here, okay, work in the prescribed hours, don't overstress. But we are getting driven by all these vendors who are trying to force this BYOD. Take it up to 8 years. As long as it's up to smart devices and all those, for pleasure it's fine. But inside the organization with ERPs and core systems, I don't see a very good thing. Then what will be the quality of deliverables? You are working continuously. You will start committing errors. And sometimes it might create a big loss to the organization. Generation divide we talk. Now everybody must understand, as long as you are on your smart device, WhatsApp and Facebook and all those, it's your personal data, fine. Even if it goes, consequences would be yours. But the moment I start using it to access, modify or update my organization data, it's not my data. So if that goes anywhere, that's not very good for me or for the organization. So there's a big difference. So let's not encourage or become very jubilant when 11 years or 10 years say, I feel happy carrying this and let me take it to my work and I work on this. No. This is different, that is different. These are two different things. And the last thing is, and I keep facing that every day rather, we provide BlackBerry to all our executives. Okay, what happens from time to time, the new models would come. Itisalat would release new models. And then some executive who got it 3 months back, he would have got one model. Now the other guy, when the new person gets a new one. The other guy comes to me. Why did you give him that model? Why not to me? So somewhere it has also become a status symbol that I have got Jet 10 and I have got i5 and those type of things. Fine, nothing wrong with that. Human beings are human beings. Now I will also talk about policy. How does that sound? Let me dig out from here. No. It should be, policy would be required. Okay, even if I surrender to a certain extent, keep it simple. Because making it too complex would ensure that nothing is implemented, nothing is followed. It should be adaptive. Because what's happening is You have got the same type of device, but different OS versions would keep coming. Try to do something which sort of aligns itself with the new releases also. Don't develop the policy in isolation. Make it collaborative. Take inputs from people who are going to use it. Then only you will be able to come out with really a meaningful policy and unfold it. Start gradually. Don't make an attempt to have a very comprehensive view. Rather, don't start with buying INC. What was that? Intelligent Management System, something like that. SP? Is it SP table? No. Okay, buy that. SP is a very, very nice one. And be very clear when it comes to corporate and individual security. Now, BYOD, if you take the full form, bring your own device. How does it sound? Why are we saying that? Change the acronym itself. We are inviting, bring your own device. You can talk both. Bring your own device, bring your own device. And we are here to get our entire network corrupted because you feel happy working with this one. This is an appeal to the industry. Let's think as to, can we have a better terminology rather than BYOD, which is very complex, and I don't want to go back to that. Yeah? It's good? Yes. And that's, thank you. This one, it has got nothing to do with BYOD. This is the next technology wave changes. It's talking about what's going to happen in next few years. It's written by Phil Simon. And I had gone to attend Oracle Open World in San Francisco. I didn't go to Las Vegas. Who was there? Yeah. So I went to San Francisco and then I purchased it there. But when I started reading after a few pages, I found it a bit boring. So what I thought, I brought it here to gift it, and then not after reading this one, I thought with all these acronyms, I was getting a bit tired. So I picked up one. There was one analyst report which is talking about the trends in 2014, and I picked up one, and I thought I'll ask the audience, whosoever can tell me the full form of that, I will just give this book. And that was MOOC. You are from the education sector, you know, you keep quiet. I will give you another book. That was, yes, you are right, massive online open courses. So I was trying to find out which sounds more complex than BYOD on that one, MOOC. So that was it. But
it should be BYOD. Bring your own. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. In fact, Jeevan asked me to bring my own projector. He said, bring your own projector. I said, I can't do that. I am joking, it never said.
You get the iPhone, right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Any other questions? Otherwise,
So do you have any policy in your organization?
we have started thinking about that, but as of now, no. Only policy is that we have given instruction to our security that any outsider bringing laptop would be stopped there, and IT would be contacted, and then we would allow inside or not allow. And there are a few security-related policies which have been implemented, like usage of USB, those type of things. And BlackBerry is there in full use, and that's fine. That's most secure. In fact, the reference which Heather was giving about BlackBerry, I would like to update him. BlackBerry has recovered, and plan of selling the BlackBerry is shed, so it's not that they are in bad health. And 3 days back, there was a news item where Mr. Barack Obama is extremely happy with his BlackBerry because he didn't face all this compromises and other things because he was, I'm not a BlackBerry representative, but BlackBerry is still very much there. But sometimes what happens, some of the vendors, in order to drive a point home, they would get unduly critical to something. So BlackBerry is still there. It's not that it has gone. From the BlackBerry. Yes. Yeah. BlackBerry is better, correct? You are working with this a lot?
Yeah, we'll talk this time, next time. We'll definitely be gone. No more time.
In fact, there's a book, not this one, New Digital Age, the co-authored by Eric Smith. Yes, Google. And I had passed on that information to your senior vice president. That book, in one of the sections it says that I think 3-4 years back, Etisalat made an announcement that there's a update pack available for BlackBerry and consumers should download that. And when RIM came to know about that, they realized that there was some spyware or something which was being used for I don't know what purposes. And then RIM sent another patch which was downloaded on all the consumers' BlackBerries, and then it was wiped out. So I'm not sure whether it was authentic or so. That's why you must be knowing Mr. Hasmi, Abdullah Hasmi. I quickly informed him that if it is not true, let's take these guys to task because it's a very malified publicity, which is because I love Etisalat. I don't love you that much, but that's it. I'll be there in panel.